Hi YouTube, coming to you today a little sunnier. I've been sick, so sorry for the long wait in between videos. But like I've said, I need to do a review of the NextLevel Silencer. I've had it a couple of days, looking at it, just getting some initial feedback and some technical specifications on it, and I think I would maybe just like to share some of my initial thoughts with you guys on it, and then in the second part going to go to the range and see how it performs. The specific one, the guys from NextLevel sent me to test. The caliber is 270 Winchester, and I have a very light Sporter 270 Winchester. It's a Musgrave Model 83, 22-inch light Sporter barrel. It's kind of in the featherweight category of rifles. It's a nice carry rifle, and I want to keep it as light as possible. Now, obviously in South Africa, a lot of the farms and farmers are insisting that we hunt using silencers or suppressors, and the reason for that is just that most of the animals that we hunt in very large camps. And in here in the Karoo, it's sometimes, most of the time it is, like we say, a voorsit hunt or a driven hunt, where you get dropped off somewhere on a mountain and you have some guys riding on motorbikes perhaps, or on horses in a very, very big camp in between the mountains and the valleys and everything, and kind of just bumping the game that's there, and then hopefully they pass you by, and if you can get a shot, you can take it. So very long shots. And they don't want the animals to get spooked early on in the season. Our hunting season is all of the months in Afrikaans that doesn't have an R in it. So yeah, I think the main thing is, especially also in the bushveld, farmers are just saying, hey man, we don't want to get the animals spooked up early. There's only so many hunting weeks in a year. We don't want to make it difficult unnecessarily. So yeah, taking that into consideration, I was never a silencer person. My feeling is I want my rifle balanced and light enough to carry in the field and to use. And I mean, once you attach extra things, you kind of mess with the balance of the rifle. Now, in this case, I was quite surprised when I put this silencer on that the rifle was still perfectly balanced. And this is for a very light Sporter type of rifle. Now, it's made of aircraft grade aluminium. It's very light. I would guess, and I'll weigh it for you guys, but I would guess it comes in below 400 grams. So that's less than half a kilogram. 2.2 pounds in a kilogram for the American guys. So less than a pound, maybe, yeah, less. It's around 8 inches. You also get the Reflex type silencer that fits over the barrel somewhat, so it doesn't extend the total length of the rifle too much. Yeah, and I think this is the Mark III from NextLevel, and the earlier models you can buy a reflex adapter. Now, the guys told me that the first bevels and the thread and inserts here are all milled from stainless steel, and then obviously you have the bevels inside. Now, what makes these silencers so unique is that it's not only just a silencer, it's also a barrel tuner. Now, you get barrel tuners, and I think for the guys that does F-class and competition shooting, we're specifically also looking at grouping and wanting to make loads just work better in your rifle. barrel tuners are the way to go, or in 22 long rifle competition shooters, you want to be able to tune your rifle to a specific ammunition. So you'll shoot and see what works well, and then maybe just tune it from there. Specifically because we don't reload for a 22 long rifle. You could, but it's a long process. Now, the barrel tuners that I've seen work with an offset weight here at the tip, where you loosen up the weighted part of it, and the weight then gets rotated just to offset the total weight balance of the barrel tuner at the end. And obviously that influences barrel harmonics, and barrel harmonics is what works together with a specific load, and that gives you a good or a bad load. Now we talk about finding the node of your specific rifle with that specific brass, primer, powder, bullet combination, and it's typically where you'll see you don't have erratic grouping, but you'll have small groups, and depending on what you shoot, you can interpret those groups differently. We also do ladder tests, see where you're getting into that node, where you hit a flat spot, where the printing of the bullet on the paper, you don't really get any vertical spread anymore. It's all horizontal, and you start playing with the cartridge overall length to see in terms of different seating depths if you can't close that group up a little bit, and you want to see that flat spot in the speed, and that's basically what we call a node. Now, barrel tuners influences one of those two dynamics. Either you change your cartridge, or you change your rifle. Now, what this does is it basically changes the rifle. It changes the barrel harmonics, which is the other big component that works into getting that node. So theoretically, you could get factory ammunition, and we know that not all factory ammunition, irrespective of the quality of the ammo, doesn't necessarily work in your rifle. Now, what a barrel tuner then does is it tweaks your barrel harmonics to suit that specific load, to kind of find that sweet spot where you're hitting a node. So the testing that I'm going to do, I've given NextLevel quite a big challenge, is I took the 270, some Somchem S365 powder, PMP cases that I know aren't terribly consistent, but it is what I had, and some PPU Spitzer, 150 grain Spitzer bullets, and I know that it could be an accurate load for a hunting setup, an accurate load for a hunting setup, in my opinion, for anything 300 yards and less, 1.5 inches grouping at 100 yards maximum is a sufficient hunting load. If you're going to shoot gearbox type of shots, that's the vital zone, heart, lung area. Obviously you want to see how small you can get that, and on my video 6 I get groupings with Sierra Pro Hunters, which you can't get in South Africa anymore, but I get groupings there of half a MOA at 100 yards, 0.75 MOA, so that I consider good. So I know that just looking at the data that I have on my 270, I'm loading it at around about 3,050 feet per second here at sea level. It shouldn't be close to a node. If I check quick load or Gordon's reloading tool, it should just be off. But that said, I want to see if this barrel tuner can bring it into a note. So what I'll do is I'll shoot a group with the naked rifle, just 3 or 4 shots at 100 yards and see what type of group we get, and then start playing with the barrel tuner and then see if we're getting better accuracy. And if we do, then we know this works. Now, the feedback that I've been getting is that it works. So let's see. Yeah, I think what makes this one so unique is you don't have the offset weight here at the end. The weight shift is in the length of the silencer. So what you'll do is you'll see that here are some numbers. Here's the arrow. It's set to 0 there. And you then just adapt the baffles inside, changing the weight distribution in the silencer itself from let's say back heavy to forward heavy, and that weight offset at the end of your rifle then also creates that tuning effect, or basically what a barrel tuner does. So we don't have this clockwise type of tuner with a large heavy weight at the end, but rather using the baffles and the stainless steel insert here to create that weight distribution, and that creates the shift in weight creates the different harmonic in your barrel, and that obviously puts you in or out of a note, theoretically. After you've done tuning your rifle at that specific load, there's some grub screws here right at the tip of this thing, and they tell me that you just take out, either if it's nice and centered, you take out 3 or 4 or 5, whatever. If it's nice and centered, you can take out 3 or 5, or if it is off-centered with them, you take out 4, the top ones obviously, and that is just like a type of a muzzle brake to kind of just counteract muzzle whip when you shoot. That whip upwards when you shoot, it goes up. It just counteracts that with the gases then escaping here. So yeah, quite a mouthful, I suppose. But let me open this up and just kind of show you how it works. And then the next video, I'll give you all of the technical specifications. We'll be on the range shooting, and yeah, we'll hopefully get you some good data. It looks like we're going to have good weather this weekend, so keep your fingers crossed. So you get a tool like this. It's just a normal torque bit. It goes here into the back of the silencer. It fits in there into that screw, and then you just unscrew it. Give it a couple of turns, and then that opens up the tip here. You can see this is where you start tuning. So what you'll do is this space that is created here at the end, at the frets, that now when you tighten this up again, shifts the weight of this first stainless steel baffle and the rest of the baffles forward or backwards. In this case, by tuning it, you'll be shifting the weight forward more all of the time until you find that sweet spot. So this is the tuning part. You'll see the arrow moving, and you just move that to coincide to the different numbers. There's a couple of rotations in this that you can do, but let me take it all apart and just show you how it works. I think of all of the silencers that I've handled, and there's quite a few brands in South Africa, I was just immediately impressed by the quality of the workmanship on these silencers, the finishing on it. It's brilliant. The anodizing on it itself, I like the matte finish, especially don't want to walk in field and have something glaring and shining back. That's also good. Obviously you can put some camo tape on it or something like that, but yeah. So this is the silencer end cap. Okay, and these are the baffles. And the nice thing about this silencer, I suppose, is it looks modular. So you could potentially take it all to pieces and just throw it into your sonic cleaner. Wash it. I know that in a lot of the older silencers that I've seen, they become so heavily felt with carbon and that type of buildup that yeah, you can't really clean it. And we used to throw in a little bit of petrol or diesel or whatever, and it would stink for weeks, and you really never ever actually got it nice and clean. So yeah, these aluminium baffles, then that's what creates the silencing effect. And I've seen that the rating on these silencers are around 20 to 30 decibels quieter. So obviously it's more to do with the recoil than the actual sound, but it does take that crack out of the shot when you shoot. So I think that's something nice. I'm looking forward to testing this. We've had some rainy and cold days, and can't wait to get onto the range. The other day I wanted to go, and they were working on the 300-meter range, and I couldn't go. So yeah, let's see. I'll set up the Crony also just to get some speed readings and maybe see if the speed gets influenced at all by tuning the barrel. I know that a lot of the node calculations on quick load, for instance, is based on optimal barrel time. So interesting to see how those things work together, but let's see. So yeah, easy enough to take to pieces here. Let me see if this back part opens up. Doesn't seem like it. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Friend of mine, we were always, when we started working with tools and things like that, we had all of these little rhymes that we thought of. Yeah, so this is the utmost forward position that it can go. I just want to see if all of the baffles fit in that position. So all of the baffles will fit. You won't get the cap on, which I suppose isn't a bad thing. Not necessarily want to have such a big canvas here at the back. Yeah, and there's quite a bit of thread on this end cap. And I must say, I'm really surprised at just how light the whole package is. It's one of the lightest silencers that I've ever handled. So yeah, like I said, it's going to be an interesting thing. So once you have the end cap on and you selected your setting, you would just take your torque bit here and just tighten it up to the specific side of it, and then yeah, I think that's enough. Then you have a tuned rifle which you can take off and put on. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching my rambling. I just wanted to make this video just to kind of introduce you and maybe give you my first opinions of it. So far so good, I suppose. As soon as I get it out to the range, I'll post that video most likely over the weekend, and yeah, look forward to getting on the range. I think most of you guys feel like that, miserable when you can't go shooting. So our hunting season is almost over. I think I might have one hunt left. Thinking of taking this to the Southern Free State plains game hunt for blesbok and springbok and perhaps some black wildebeest and blue wildebeest, white-tailed gnu. So yeah, I'll keep you posted. That hunt most likely in September, and that hunt is going to be a hunt for charity. I'm a Musgrave ambassador and affiliated with the Wildman group now for the second year that our Musgrave enthusiasts actually have a kind of a fundraiser, and we from a hunting perspective, we just donate all of the meat and the money and everything that we can gather and give that to charity, old age homes, kids, yeah, so that's schools, you know, kindergartens. So yeah, that's something that's very close to my heart, and I'll take you with on that hunt, and I'll tell you a little bit more. But in the description, go and see. I'll put up a link to Musgrave Rifles and the guys from Wildman, and you're welcome to go and have a look at the proudly South African rifle that has a huge heritage. I'm still looking to get my hands on one of those new models. I have a Model 98, that's the Mauser controlled feed action. In video 6, I have the Model 83, that's a push feed action in the 270 Winchester, and those were kind of like the old rifles, the Ben Musgrave and Sons rifles that we used to call them. And more recently, Frick Deploy, a businessman, bought the Musgrave brand after it basically just died out. Yeah, which is a sad story. I'll do a video on Musgrave for you guys and maybe just tell you a little about those rifles. But he bought it and revived it, and in Ermelo they're building brilliant rifles, also on the K98 controlled feed actions. But now more recently they created the Model 21 or M21 action, which I think is going to make a huge impact in especially the South African market. And you can go on their website and check them out. Go to their Facebook page and follow them. Can't go wrong buying a Musgrave. And I'm sure for you guys in other countries that they can sort out something with an export. It's always cheaper to buy in South Africa. So yeah, go and check out our quality products. Until next time, I'll see you on the range.